welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing 5 tips on finding housing in Korea. It seems that a lot of people have interest in moving to Korea, and I've had quite a fair share of my experience living here and finding housing. So I thought about it and have written down 5 things that you must try when you're looking for housing. Now, I lived in Korea for about almost 3 years, about 2 years and 3/4. And I've moved, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I moved 5 times. And I've also had friends that are from abroad or friends that are just living here, born and raised here, but are living on their own. I've listened to them and their experience moving here. And so this is a compilation of all of their advices, including mine. So hope you guys find this fun and informative. Also, you will be learning some Korean words that you will hear or things that you should know when speaking with a realtor, a 부동산 person. And at the end of this video, comment down below how many Korean words you learned watching this video. Alright, let's get started with tip number 1. Have a budget. Know how much you want to pay upfront and how much you're willing to pay per month, including the maintenance and utility fee. So when you come to Korea, there's this thing called 보증금. Now this is the deposit money that you put in forefront to say, I want to live here. But basically this deposit, also known as key money, is something that you will get back when you move out. The higher the 보증금, the less your monthly fee will be. And there are also 2 options that you can do in Korea. You can do a 전세 or a 월세. 전세 is when you pay all up front, a big amount, about $100,000 or more. It really depends on the housing, so this is just an example. So all you have to do is if you get a 전세, you just pay for the maintenance and utility fee. So there is 월세, which is what most people do, including me, where you pay upfront a smaller key money or deposit money, around 5 million to 10 million, depending on the house. The one I'm currently in is about 10 million, and you pay a monthly rent fee. And the maintenance fee does not apply to your monthly rent fee. The maintenance fee is the cost of taking care of the building, making sure that the place is properly functioning, making sure that the elevator and everything is clean, things like that. So this fee, the maintenance fee, will be on top of your monthly rent fee, and that usually will range quite a bit depending on the type of housing you get. Now there's a place called 원룸, and there's also a place called 오피스텔. There are some realtors that will say they're the same thing, but some people will say they're different. So one rooms are usually a bit smaller. The buildings itself are smaller. They're usually only like 3 to 4 floors. Office space is similar in a sense that they're usually one room, but there could be like a side like half room or something. But office tels are usually higher buildings. They're usually 10 floors or more. I know my friend lives in a 25 floor building, 오피스텔, and their maintenance fee costs a lot more. As you can tell, smaller buildings usually have smaller maintenance fees, and bigger buildings will require higher maintenance fee. The place that I'm living in currently have a maintenance fee of 15만 원, 150,000 won. I'm sorry if I'm not reading the English version of Korean money correctly, so please Google that. I think it's around $100 US. Now this includes my maintenance fee, my water and electricity, and my gas fee is separate. So every building is a little bit different, but you're gonna be paying around anywhere from 5만 원 to 15만 원. Some places even more. So yes, maintenance fee will differ, but if you live in a one room, you will probably pay a lot less than when you live in an 오피스텔. When I first came to Korea, I lived in a one room, and the maintenance fee was around 5만 원, 50,000 won. And then when I moved to an 오피스텔, it went up double. From the second place that I moved to was a small 오피스텔, 11 floors, and it cost around 11만 원, 110,000 won, and then it went up to 120 to 130, and then now around 150 to 160,000 won. Yikes! Now tip number 2 is choose a couple of locations of where you plan to move. Now if you say, oh, I want to move to Seoul, there's so many different parts of Seoul that you can live in. Now Seoul is kind of, if I summarize it for you, it is separated in half, above the river and below the river. Now below the river is areas like Gangnam, Jamsil, Sillim, and anywhere above the river is like Yongsan, Itaewon, Gwanghwamun, Hongdae, Kongguk. I only lived within Seoul. I moved to 5 different areas of Seoul, below and above the river. And I have to say that each experience was quite different. So that's something for you to consider. Do you want to live near Itaewon where there's a lot of food and diversity? Do you want to live near your work where you don't have to commute for long hours? Do you want to live near the river or the park? Tip number 3 is look on apps like Jikbang and Tabang. If you can download these apps and look in advance at some of the housings that you would like, it can give you a rough idea of what kind of places that you want to look at. Because when I first went straight into a realtor and they showed me their idea of what kind of housing that I was looking for, I was sometimes dissatisfied and I didn't really know how to explain it. So the next time around I took screenshots of images showing them these are the types of buildings and types of rooms that I am looking for, and it gave them a better idea and helped them to populate in their search to help me find the right housing. One thing though is to not be fooled by some of the information that they put in, like move-in dates, especially pricing. Sometimes they will make the price really low and trick you. For example, a friend of mine looked on Jikbang and she looked for an opistel and she really liked it, right? Pricing said 60만 원, which is around 600,000 won. And when she went there, they said, oh, for the 600,000 won, there's no view. If you want a room with a view, which is the one my friend wanted, you have to pay 75만 원, which is 750,000 won. So don't rely on the pricing, but if you are looking for a specific design or a type of house, it's a great way to get a rough idea of that. And tip number 4 is bring a native friend, or if you have a Korean family member with you, like me, I'm Korean American, so I have extended family that live here. My other friend who is not Korean that came here had a Korean friend that helped her out. Or maybe your coworker come and help you find housing, because when you go to the realtor, aka 부동산 lady or man, they will speak to you in a lot of the terminologies that you may not be aware of. Now I consider myself pretty native to the language, but I still had a hard time explaining what I wanted and understanding some of the words that they have used to describe the building and the contract and etc. So it was very helpful. Out of the 5 times that I moved, I think I had 3 native people come with me to help me find housing, and it was tremendously helpful because first, they live here. They know what's best, and they know when these people are lying or not lying. And if you can't have someone that speaks Korean, just have another friend come with you. It's safer, and it'll be a bit more fun to look with someone than on your own. That's my personal advice. And tip number 5 is be ready to sign up on the day. Now, I'm not saying that you will find the right housing first day that you look. It may take some time, but whatever day that is, when you find the house that you want to move into, you have to be ready to sign up, because Seoul is a busy city filled with lots of people that are trying to move in and out. So most likely, if you don't sign up or put in a reservation fee, somebody else might. So usually when I find a housing that I like, I have the money ready to pay for the reservation fee. And what a reservation fee looks like, usually a 10% amount of the deposit that you have to pay for the housing that you want to get. For me, I had to pay 10 million won for my key money. And so when I wanted to reserve this house, I had to pay 100만 won, which is 1 million. And then the remaining deposit fee you will pay on the day when you come to move in. So those are my 5 tips for finding housing in Korea. I hope you guys found these tips helpful and hope that you guys are able to use it when you move to Korea. And I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video. Until next time, I'll see you guys in my next video.